What's up, everybody? You know, like I know, that you know, that I know, that I had to speak on this. Before I give Dr. Umar his props, I like to say one of the first, if not the first person to really make Cynthia G look stupid is yours truly. I'm just going to say this. The disrespect of black men will not be tolerated anymore. Yeah. I'm sorry. Black men are not taking this shit on the chin like we used to. They're not taking this disrespect. Jesus Christ, over there. We're just not doing that shit anymore, man. It's unforgivable. I've always asked. I've always asked for Cynthia this one thing. What's the opposite of a beta male coon? What's the opposite? And don't forget, after I do this live stream, go over to the Snowman's channel to continue the conversation. You know what the conversation is going to be? Are black men worthy of this country's respect? That's going to be the topic over the Snowman's channel. Go over there as soon, and I mean as soon as this live stream ends. I'm going to say this, man. Black men are tired of this bullshit. We are entirely too tired of this bullshit. Anytime Dr. Umar had to put Cynthia G in her place, it reminds me of another intelligent black man who did it. Myself. I don't want to hear, well, black men are not doing stuff what they need to do. I don't want to hear this shit. The same black men that got up the fucking rifles and freed you from slavery, the same black men that had slave revolts on the ships not even reaching the goddamn coast. See, it's kind of funny because we were pretty much the original damn pirates. Assalamu alaikum, Philip. And walaikum salam. Longo Savage, the macho man, the always faithful F Holiday. That's what the F and F Holiday stand for. Faithful. The Sarge, Lewis Coyer, Detroit, Zan. See, I'm getting highly pissed off to the point of festivity of a bunch of raggedy bitches have the audacity, and I'm truly mean the fucking audacity, to talk about black men like they lost their goddamn mind. Speaking of that holiday, shout out for the Cash App. Always faithful, man. Can never say anything about that brother. From now on, I think every black man ought to play this as their fucking theme song. That's why you S-I-N-G-L-E again, cause you wanna be a hoe with your little dog ass friend. O-B-R-O-K-E. Look, I always see somebody searching roll a bush and let you eat. O-M-E-S-S-Y asshole. Cause they got a nigga business, little nosy asshole. Bitch, your attitude do not match your description. I had enough to have me all up in your mentions. Got some problems with all my other bitches. Out chasing bitch, she just looking for attention. Bitch, your lace front C-H-E-A. We went to Miami with your friend, but you couldn't buy nothing to eat. L-M-F-A-O. Girl, I'm and your friend fake it for you. She sucked me up last week. Oh. Yeah. Suck a nigga's dick or something. Suck a nigga's dick or something. Friendly bitch, free, entertaining broke niggas while you talking to me. That's why you S-I-N-G-L-E again. Now, That should be the goddamn theme song for brothers. Oh yeah, here you go. That's for leaving that fucking chicken in my backseat. Now, see, when you get to be broke bitch free, it's an amazing thing, man. That should be the theme song. I'm tired, and I'm so tired of the level of disrespect. Here it is. You got a guy who's got 5 degrees, and people saying, well, he's not a real doctor. Do you think a black man can call himself a doctor and nobody exposes him for that? Somebody rocking over there. And it's funny, right? It's funny. She's spitting all this intellectually dishonest bullshit. And why? Who's putting out the money? Who's putting out the bullshit? What the hell's going on? You really think that you can really historically point out when black men were chasing white women when it was at a time to even look at a white woman could cost you your life? I'm going to say that again for the niggas in the back. Why were we trying to get with white women when it was so dangerous at a time that looking at a white woman could cost you your life? But once again, you could be a disingenuous bitch. And nobody's supposed to check you on this bullshit. Nobody's supposed to say a damn word. And pointed out that she has an agenda and a vendetta against black men. Just because the black men that are in your family and your life failed you, does not mean that's the totality of the population of black men. It's no different. If you're friends with me on Facebook, go look at that Vivica A. Fox post I put up there. You a 53-year-old broad talking about, well, I never found a man that was worthy to child with. You lying, disingenuous bitch. Past their prime hoes trying to defend that bullshit. You find nobody worthy enough when you literally, for 25 years in Hollywood, been around men who were better than you. I think it's fucked up to say you never found anybody worthy. Just tell the fucking truth. Nobody wanted to deal with your insufferable ass. And easily, at her time, one of the most beautiful women in the world in her prime, and you couldn't land a man. There's a name for people like you. It's called loser. It's called loser. You gonna tell me Marcus Garvey didn't do shit? Dr. King? The Honorable Malcolm X didn't do shit? You don't get killed and assassinated for not doing shit. You don't get exiled for not doing shit. You want to talk about seditious traitors? Let's look at the history of black women in this country. How many slave revolts were snuffed out because you went to go tell Massa because you didn't want your place in the kitchen to be harmed? You like being in the bed with Massa so much, you went to go tell him. before the even started. Why don't y'all, instead of taking the foot and fighting back, okay, at what point did we control military might in this country? Name me one country in Africa, there's about, 54 of them, that can militaristically match the might of the U.S. military. Where's the Blue Water Navy in Africa that can blockade our shit? Please, I dare you to answer this question. So, I find it funny that every time a black woman wants to talk about black men picking up arms against the country, they don't want to be the quartermaster. They don't want to be the medics. They don't want to be the supply. They don't want to be the cooks. They don't want to support the war effort. It's always black man died for me so I can get closer to whiteness. Guess what? Guess what's coming out real soon? You will never be Mrs. Cartwright. T-shirts, hoodies, and sweatshirts for the fall and winter. You will never be Mrs. Cartwright. All right? You will never be Mrs. Cartwright. If black men just suddenly disappeared, you would never be Mrs. Cartwright. All you got is this damn rum and that fucking bed. How dare you talk about the slain black men and the blood they shed for the cause? And that right there is video and audio evidence that should be subpoenaed by every Black Manosphere YouTuber to be used as evidence to convict the majority of you chicks for your crimes. With women like you, who the fuck need enemies? And don't come to me, oh, you hate black women. Black women love me. Even my exes, and even the current ones that I'm talking to. But see, it's funny. Majority of my exes don't have a problem with what I say, because guess what? At least they were somebody's wife at some point. At least they were somebody's wife. At least they were important to somebody, that somebody stamped their name on it. Vivica got money. Yeah, with all that money, she can't buy a man or a husband. Why don't you get in the line right there with the Maytag freezer and put your eggs in it, you broken bitch? Anytime a woman tells me she's freezing her eggs, that's the equivalent of a man saying, I'm going to cut off my balls. I had one chick, well, why are you worried about her? Trying to shame me. Oh, don't you have a baby mama? Excuse me, my son lives with me. What about you? See, I can get married anytime I want. I know one thing, like I told the chick on Facebook. The reason why you want to defend Vivica so bad, because hit dogs holler. And bitch, you're wildin'. You can't shame me because you don't have a man. You don't have any kids. You have no legacy. I'm judged of what I can create, conquer, destroy, and maintain. You're judged by the fruit you cultivate. We are not equals. Never have been, never will be. The way men are judged in this world is a hell of a lot different women are judged in this world. One, you're not pretty enough. Two, you're not smart enough. But I find it funny, every time I get one of these chicks online, when they see me in person, they love me and my dirty drawers. And in such an intellectually spoken way, Dr. Umar actually stated to her, what consequence are you to me? You lie about history. You lie about the efforts, the century-long efforts that black men put into not only this country, but also our freedom. But at the same time, you want black men to do for you, but you can't do a damn thing for the black men that are ready to fight on your behalf. Gone are the days of Mary McLeod Bethune. Gone are the days of Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman loved black men so much, she helped free thousands with the help of black men. Gone are the days of Rosa Parks. Gone are the days of Coretta Scott King. It's funny that so many bitches will have a screensaver of Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B on their phone, but don't even know who Coretta Scott King is if you show them a goddamn picture of her. It's gotten to the point where all these fucking feminists and these Cynthia Giites, you brought down the value of black women faster than the stock market dropped during the Great Depression. You're disgusting to go ahead and lie, historically lie. Your subterfuge was not even reasonable. It was distasteful and disrespectful. But if we really want to talk about something, let's talk about how poor of a mothers you become. How non-existent of wives you are. How the fuck can we have a war effort if you're the one who's the saboteurs to the mission? That's a question I'll ask right there. And to go on and say, well, black men could have fought this country. What fighter jets did we have? I was out and about with my dad, chilling with him. And we saw fighter jets flying over Baltimore, awfully low. Last time I checked, we don't have a Marcus Garvey Air Base. We don't have a Camp Malcolm X. We don't have a Fort Dr. King. Well, black men got guns too. What the fuck can a gun do against a Patriot missile? See, the problem is you want somebody to put up a war effort while you sleep comfortably in your bed at night. And you want rough men to do violence on your behalf, and you're not even worthy of it. And you know what ultimately makes me sick of women like you? Is that you corrupt women or young girls who have a chance to outpace you and to learn from your mistakes. Even the most criminal black man will tell young men, you don't want to live this life, shorty. Yo, fuck what you mean. Go get an education, little nigga. But not you bitches. Not you bitches. You want to sink the whole fucking race. You're not happy till everybody's just as miserable as your ugly ass. And I'm talking directly to you, Cynthia. So I know because I purposely put your name in a fucking title. And I dare you to show up. Because the last time you and I spoke, you got embarrassed. on 3 separate occasions. You got embarrassed because you got pregnant by a ne'er-do-well. You couldn't even get a decent baby daddy. What you got? What you got? Well, I got this baby that I'm trying to hide from the world. By whom? You got a baby by a nigga you're not even proud of. I got a bitch that's trying to tell me, oh, you just a baby daddy. No, I'm my son's father. There's a difference. There's a fucking difference. See, by the way, for all of you who follow me, the VA says, hey, you're 50% service connected disabled. So I'm basically semi-retired right now. And now I'm waiting for my retirement from the police department. What have you accomplished? See, when my son put me in that pine box, they're not going to be like, that's my fault. That's not only my father, that was my Superman in flesh. Even my son's mother actually thanked me for the way I reared that boy. What the fuck have you done? I'm going to ask women like you, Paris Milan, Chrissy, Stefco, all you bitches. I'm going to ask you one question. What consequence are you to me? A man in my class outclassed you the day he took a piss outside. See, every person I touch, every boy that I raise or teach, like me, piss greatness. I don't build men. I build kings. I build conquerors. You chicks, I've noticed majority of you don't even have children. And you complaining about being a baby daddy. Majority of you don't even have a man and you complain about black men. You get all your information from third-party hearsay. You're mad because you see the options that are set before you. And they are ugly. Just like your souls. Don't get upset with me. Get upset with you. Get upset with your obsolescence. Get upset with your failures. You got men, like shout out to the teacher extraordinaire, Art New Style, who tells you very candidly he had to buy his son's papers. He had to buy his son's masculinity. And his son off into college right now. Women like you could never get an Art New Style TV. A lady like Linda, she need to teach women like you classes on how to be goddamn feminine. But yet you want to lie on black men. And Umar dissected you like a goddamn middle school science project frog that you are. You can't even talk about one measly good thing that black men actually accomplished. You can't talk about the fact that black men created 85% of the inventions we still use today. From refrigerated cars to gas masks, how many lives have been saved by the inventions of black men alone? Here's the funny part. Black women and black children are becoming the number one growing majority of homelessness. The only people that are going to save you from being homeless is what? Black men. Because as soon as you go to Mr. Cartwright's face, I'm pregnant. Why are you telling me? Who are you again? Not even one good thing. That makes you think, right? If you're this hurt and you never said, and she tried to call herself a psychologist, I the funniest thing about it really is that all of black men, regardless of religion, regardless of political ideology, regardless of educational status, regardless of occupation, landmass, location, are converging on black feminism and stomping it out like it was polio. They are stomping that shit out like it's polio. Even TD Jake said it. He didn't give a damn after that. Half the congregation didn't show up. I got money. What can you do to me? That's what TD told him. As pandering as Dr. Umar was or can be, he showed you, you ain't gonna, no, not in this space. On God, no. And you know how ridiculous you sound? Just because your daddy's a failure doesn't mean that black men are. If you got such a hatred and vitriol for black men, the first motherfucker you need to conquer is your daddy. And if he's here or not, you need to go seek medical help and the mental status, of course. Shout out to Alan Stranger. It's so bad that places like Fox Soul, who have nothing intelligent, nothing captivating to speak of, but a bunch of old past their prime unmarried bitches that does nothing to help black people, that spends their time defecating on black men and carrying on white supremacist subterfuge. In the totality of what? Foolishness. You said the devil got her tongue. So you telling me the devil can hold his own tongue? It's like that chick who was on my post on Facebook. What do you got against Vivica A. Fox? I said, I got nothing, just like her love life. Ooh. You were considered a very lovely woman in your day. And you telling me you found nobody worthy? You were literally in movies with Will Smith. You were in Kill Bill. You were in high tier 1% men, not even 1%, 0.1% of men in the world. And you couldn't land any of them? This is why you're still bitter about 50 Cent? You're mad because he could do what you can't? And oh yeah, and all these chicks try to bring up Nick Cannon having multiple baby mamas. Which one of them bitches said that he was a bad father? See, I'm gonna teach you something really, really, really important, people. Somebody need to write this down for prosperity. Responsibility looks good on men. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I hit him hard with this one. How hard did we hit him? This how hard we hit him. This how hard we hit him. This how hard we hit him. Boom! Oh, how hard we hit him? Oh. Y'all didn't like that, did you? Y'all didn't like old Stan kicking your ass, did you? We hit him this hard. I want everybody to put that in the chat. Responsibility looks good on men. When you see a man walking down the street with a group of kids, whether they're his biologically or not, what are you going to say? Wow, that's a good look, man. That looks good. When you see a chick with a bunch of kids, you be like, damn, where's your man? Shout out to Famous Davis. Did you see the exchange with me and over at Vivica's post? Oh, yeah, I seen it. Moving the goalpost and personal attacks had to block her. Did you see what I did to her? I embarrassed the fuck out of her. Because I said, well, guess what? I have a kid. I have a legacy. My son carries my name just like I carried my father's name. That's over 100 years of legacy right there. What movie do you really remember Vivica from? My legacy and my bloodline that comes out of the sack of my nuts will live longer than any of her money. Who's she going to give her inheritance to? A cat? A dog? Oh, we had to hit him hard. That's how hard we had to hit him again. That nigga's fine. Let me ask you this question. When do you see Meryl Streep in a goddamn movie like Booty Call? What classic movie can you recall? Give me another famous actress that's not black. When do you see Meryl Streep and fucking Set It Off? And Independence Day been so long ago, that's not even the same Will Smith. That's no different than Lisa Ray. Her zenith was literally the Players Club. She's only black famous. She ain't on no level of Will Smith. She ain't no level of Jamie Foxx. See, that's the incredible shit, right? What did black men do? Let's take acting, right? What black woman can equal the success of a Will Smith, of a Sidney Poitier, of a Bill Cosby, Jamie Foxx, Chadwick Boseman? I'll wait. When do you see Julia Roberts in Booty Call? Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel L. was so popular, they literally, in Marvel Comics, made the Ultimate Universe and said, he's going to be our Nick Fury, and was promised the role when the movie came out. Benjamin Pratt. I'm still waiting since black men just wanted to be with white women. Okay, black women, when did you produce the equivalent of a George Washington Carver? With his inventions, saved the United States financially and really got it on the set of becoming a superpower. Oh, yeah, the inventor of the assembly line as well, Nate Parker, an Ice Cube, a nigga who literally said, fuck the police, is one of the most beloved actors in Hollywood and producers. I'm still waiting. You're right, Famous Davis. What's their equivalent of Dr. Dre? What's their equivalent of a Barack Obama? And it's sure as hell not our current vice president. What is their equivalent to Dr. King? The Honorable Malcolm X. And yes, I said Honorable Malcolm X, and I think black people need to start referring to him permanently as such. What is your equivalent in the last 150 years of Marcus Garvey? I'll wait. Oh, Mike Jackson. What is your equivalent of Denzel? What is your equivalent of Benjamin Banneker? Benjamin O. Davis. Booker T. What? Booker T might be one of, if not the greatest, black leader we ever had. Read your books. Bobby Steele. What's your equivalent of Dr. Kenjufu? You are blessed by every god that we can name for Dr. Francis Wilson, Francis Cress Wilson. Okay? Shahrazad Ali. In the last 40 years, who did you produce to match those ladies? You get upset. You get upset when black men reach greatness because you know you can't even reach it. What's your equivalent of Charles Drew? Dr. Charles Drew. Even white men couldn't make these type of men. Where's your equivalent of the Harlem Hellfighters? The Buffalo Soldiers? Where's your equivalent of General Colin Powell? And the list goes on and on. Well, we had an inventor who made the hot comb a self-fulfilling object that doesn't help the world. All the men that I named did something to help millions, if not billions. Make up the Deacons of Defense, who were war vets who protected men like Dr. King and Brother Malcolm, the Honorable Malcolm X. There you go, Kwame Ture, a.k.a. Stokely Carmichael. Where's your equivalent? But black men haven't done shit since, oh, y'all wanted to get patriarchy. You know why? Because patriarchy works. Patriarchy only works because men are given dirty. Exactly. You're gonna deny little Richard, Chuck Berry, and others? To this day, you haven't had anybody to equal us. Historically, to this day, Jimi Hendrix was the love of white people. He had to play the guitar with his back to the audience, so much that white boys couldn't even emulate his style. You're right. Who could? That should be a t-shirt. Patriarchy breeds greatness. Matriarchy breeds pookies. Oh, let's not talk about Ike Turner. Anybody who was old enough or from Nutbush will tell you Ike was the nicest guy. It was Tina who was a bitch to everybody and violent. I'm still waiting for these things that black men haven't done. But how many black women never pushed their sons to college and stifled their growth? Go get a job at Giants. But then you'll talk about him. Why can't you make any more money? And this is their mother. This ain't even women they're fucking. Once again, you're judged by the goddamn fruit that you bear. There will never be another Jesse Owens. I'm still waiting on these lists of what black men haven't done. Shout out to the angry man for saying this. Only black men are judged for the shit they don't do, not for what they accomplished. There is no equivalent to Joe Louis or Muhammad Ali. Hell, the greatest boxer who ever lived was Sugar Ray Robinson. Hit that cash app, hit that super chat. But you got someone. What's your equivalent of Jordan Burroughs? If he wins the Worlds this year, he will have the most World and Olympic titles of any American. He's equal to the legendary John Smith. And I'm still confused. Why are you upset with black men? You're probably upset because you cannot equal what they grant. You're probably upset because of the failures you describe. You put yourself through the self-imposed prison and then blame black men for it. Why? Why? It's disgusting. It truly is disgusting. We invent inventions that make life easier and save lives. All you invent is chaos. And anytime a guy like Dr. Umar is sick of your shit, that says a lot. That says a lot. And when you're going to come out there and spread lies, hatred about men who are better than you, that's a telltale sign. What you need to do, Cynthia, is this: seek mental help. Even if you have to commit yourself, you need to get rid of those demons and extinguish that hate, those flames of hatred. And this is the reason why it's so easy for women like you in the black community to hate black men so much. Because you can only hate what you love the most. See, sometimes when you're in this state of iniquities and wallowing in obsolescence, you hate yourself so much that you have to use a physical manifestation to take your hatred out on. And this is where you lose. You don't appreciate the men you have because they said you're not a damn thing to even be appreciative of. And I'm going to say this: why should black men fight for you? When you surrendered and gave us up to all our enemies. Why should we fight for you? You don't even educate nor love us. We're just beasts of burden in your eyes. Why should we? Why don't y'all do like Oprah and bequeath all your belongings to your pets? If you hate us that much, leave us the fuck alone. We'll go to Africa or Brazil and find other black women. You're not the only black women in town. I think it's funny that there's brothers who get with other races of women outside of their race and will accomplish more with more cooperative, fitter, nicer women. It's disgusting, man. Yeah, she tried to say she's a psychologist. No, a bachelor's and a PhD in psychology are two different worlds. As this one guy once said when I had a call to his house, there's a there's so much information, not enough knowledge. It's disgusting. And see, they're on a bullet train to failure, and it shows greatly. And in closing, I'm going to say this: the disrespect of black men shall not be taken any further. The black men that you thought that were your allies are turning their back on you and telling the truth because even they got sick of you. Even they don't like you. Even they have to speak on your behavior and your pathology and your ideology. Now, for those of you who wants to listen to a panel, I'm going to push you all to the Snowman's channel. And he's going to hold a panel talking about, and I say this subject matter again: do black men deserve the respect of their women, their country, and their society? Snowman, if you're here, post a link to your chat. Post a link to your show in the chat. And I want everybody to go. We got 67, 70 people watching. I need those same amount of people to continue the conversation at the Snowman. Because we're going to talk about this in depth. Do black men deserve the respect of their women, their society, and their country? There's the link to the show. Go over there, and he's starting up right about now. Whoa! The t-shirts, sweatshirts, and hoodies are coming out soon of all my favorite catchphrases. And I like to end this for Cynthia G, and I'm going to speak to you directly. You will never be Mrs. Cartwright. Hell, you won't even be Mrs. Anybody because nobody wants your ass. Whoo! See all of y'all at the Snowman channel. And we out.